But all right, welcome everyone to the Alignment is the Assignment live stream series. This is 2 of 4. We are back again. Last week we had alignment of the mindset, and this week we have alignment of the body. What we really want to know is, are you ready to grow and progress and live life on purpose? If so, you are in for a treat. As I mentioned, today we are going to focus on aligning the body. We have some special guests, and I will definitely introduce to you all who they are. But today, you will understand how your physical health directly impacts the ability to manifest your greatness. All right. So if you've been tuning in, or if you kind of just tuning in for the first time and you're just like, what in the world is this alignment, is this assignment talk all about? We're going to fill you in. But first, before I do so, let me introduce myself. My name is Rochelle Edrington. I'm a digital marketing specialist with vPro Marketing and Sales, where I pretty much just help service-based businesses and nonprofits to effectively manage their online presence and show up and shine online. And right now, we also have Miss.
Hey, y'all. Hey, good evening. My name is Tami Dykes. I'm a local real estate agent, and I'm just excited to be in this room with all of our great panelists. I'm looking forward to a great show. So go ahead and kick us off, Rochelle.
Yes, ma'am. Listen, this is a passion project where Tami and I have teamed up to really just hope to host this 4-week live stream series, and where you'll hear from different passion-filled leaders from various fields who will explore the concept of alignment and its importance in our pursuit of purpose. Now, during our time together, if you've been rocking and rolling with us and you're coming in for the second time, you know what it's all about. But if not, we have been touching on the power of aligning your mindset, about the power of aligning your body. And next week, we're going to be talking about heart and soul, and why it's all important, how it all is combined in achieving our lifelong goals. But at the end of the day, we really just want you to always remember that alignment is the assignment. All right. And also, if you want to tune in, we have what we call the after party at the end, where it's like a personalized space. The vibe is high. Last week was on fire. So many questions answered. People just felt very connected. If you want to be in that type of environment, make sure you head on over to the alignment.life. You can register and join us in here on the Zoom. But listen, if you're watching on the Facebook live stream series, we want to say thank you, right? We want to say thank you for tuning in. But for the folks that are here in the Zoom meeting room, you got a special place in our hearts, right? You're here in the virtual space with us as well, all right? But listen, before we get kicking off to get to the meat and the, I don't know why I was going to say meat and grits. Who eats what? I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm hungry or something. But before we get into the nitty gritty, let me go ahead and introduce our guests, okay? Our esteemed guests. So first, we have Dr. Andrea Stern. Dr. Andrea Stern attended Boston University School of Medicine by way of early medical school selection program, a program designed to increase minority matriculation into the medical field. It was during her time in Boston that she joined a graduate chapter, Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Dr. Stern started a new practice, Family Medicine Mount Joy, in October of 2013, where she is still employed. She became the managing physician of this practice in 2020. Dr. Stern has a special interest in women's health and preventative care, okay, preventative medicine. Also, we have Mr. Harry King. Harry King is the owner of a 4,000 square foot boutique gym, Kingdom Fit Harrisburg, where they offer personal training, small group fitness classes, nutrition coaching, and open gym. He received his undergraduate from Villanova University in 2017 in liberal studies and specializations in philosophy and theology and religious studies. His personal training, exercise therapy, and fitness nutrition is through the International Sports Science Association. Welcome, welcome, Harry. And last but certainly not least, we have Dr. Roxanne Ehern. She is affectionately known as Dr. Rox. Dr. Rox is passionate functional medicine health coach with a focus on holistic fat loss. Dr. Rox has over 24 years of experience in the field of health behavior change. Her mind, body, and soul approach to weight loss, fat loss is holistic, science-based, practical, no nonsense, enthusiastic, and grounded in psychological theory that supports lasting behavior change and is focused on treating the root cause. Dr. Rocks holds a doctorate in health psychology, is a national board certified health and wellness coach. She is currently in the final stages of completing training to become a certified functional nutrition counselor. Welcome, welcome, Dr. Rocks. We are so happy to have you all. And like I said, y'all, they are esteemed, okay? I can't wait for them to drop their gems. So grab your pen and your paper and let's get ready to go. And Tami, I'm passing the virtual mic on over to you.
So I thought you were on the last one earlier. We're just a little off. So I was rounding applause on everybody, but welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm super excited. As I mentioned earlier, this is a passion project and we are learning as we're doing, and all of your information today, our goal is that it lands into the hands of those that can utilize it to propel themselves into their purpose. So we're going to get into, and we're going to start really basic, and we're going to talk about what physical wellness and health, physical health and wellness looks and feels like. So we're going to get it from a medicinal purpose with Dr. Stern. We're going to take it from a fitness perspective with Harry, and then nutrition and wellness. We're going to let Dr. Rock. So who wants to jump in first? Let's start with Harry. Harry, what does physical health and wellness, what does that look like? I mean, we're way too focused on unbigging our backs and snatching our waist and getting the biggest behinds, but let's be realistic on what it should feel and look like.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's funny you say that because that's important. And the reason why I say that is we're living in more and more of a sedentary world where we're at our computers, we're at our phones, we're driving. And what ends up happening is that our shoulders are pulled forward because we're always here all the time. And what that ends up leading to is weak upper back muscles and weak glute muscles. So what ends up happening, say we're right-handed and we use our right hand for a lot of different things, we may develop a muscle imbalance in our lower back or our lower lumbar. Some know it as that. And if we have weak glute muscles or weak butt muscles, it can shift our pelvic bone out of place. That muscle imbalance, that misalignment of the muscle. And then what happens is we started developing like all this tension in our lower back. Just from kind of like not having a good posture, from our daily activities. So at Kingdom Fit, we have a class that it's more, the technical term for it is posterior chain development. And that's developing the upper back and the glutes. But the kind of like the sexy name for a class that we offer is called Butts and Guts. So what we do is the technical name for it is like retraction of the scapula, doing exercises that pull the shoulders back and strengthen the glutes so that when you go to your chiropractor or when you go to a yoga class, to get your body back in alignment, you have the muscles to stabilize it.
All right, awesome. Dr. Stern, what should physical health look like on the medicinal end of things?
This is a very hot topic because, I like to really try to encourage people to think about preventative health care, which is a hard sell. It's hard to tell someone, oh, in the future, you might have a problem or you're going to have a problem based off of your family history, or, based off of what environmental things are associated with how you grew up or how you live your lifestyle. So you try to factor all that information in to trying to help a person get to their best physical self. But it's really a personal definition for a person to say, what health means to them. I can say, your vital signs should be X, Y, or Z, your blood pressure needs to be this, that, and the third, but it's really a personal decision in terms of how you invest in yourself and what's most important to you and how you define life, whether that's being able to play with your children, living a long time, or if that could be a million other parameters. So I try to help people reach that potential with, as much knowledge and input as I can. But it's a shared decision-making process, right? So I have my medical hat on, but I also am human. And I also struggle with some of the physical things. I too, Harry, have the tech neck. I, am not the perfect BMI myself. And it's something that I understand intimately, that it's a struggle. It's not easy. So, I think with that insight, it helps me understand where people are coming from, but I hopefully it doesn't inhibit them from being better in the process.
Awesome. You touched on something that, and maybe if we have time later, that I really want to delve into, and it's on the societal view of the treatment is I guess more important than the preventative. And so, yeah. For you,
the pound of cure, we say, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. On to you, Dr. Rocks. What you got for us?
I'm going to piggyback on what Dr. Stern said. And in my practice, my clients know I call that happy naked. There's health. I work with clients. We address their health needs, but then also there's happy naked. So when she talked about this, so for example, someone may have, they may, as the old adage goes, you can't judge a book by its cover. You can have someone that looks like they are the bill of health from outside, but when you take a look at the medical records, or I put them on the scale, I'm able to see their visceral fat or their bone mass or what their metabolic age is. And I'm looking at these numbers and they go, well, wait a minute, why is my visceral fat so high? What is that number? Well, that's the fat around your organs. And the fat around your organs is more indicative of your risk than the subcutaneous fat that one may have. So I'll have someone that will appear slender, and our antiquated BMI chart may say that they fall in a healthy range, but their visceral fat may be high. So that's where you have the health aspect, where they may look healthy, but may not be on the inside. And then also where some may, oh my goodness, my thought went. Okay, it came back. It came back. Where once they lose the weight, come to me for fat loss, and I go, okay, your numbers are down. We've reversed the type 2 diabetes, because type 2 diabetes is now more of a lifestyle disease. It's crazy, Dr. Stern, because in my undergrad years, over 20 years ago, we would call, and you remember this, type 2 diabetes, adult onset diabetes, and then we began getting children that got type 2 diabetes. We didn't, and juvenile diabetes was more called type 1, but now type 2 diabetes is no longer adult onset because our children get it, and those in their 40s and 50s. So that's now a lifestyle disease. So once we have the factors that lower your risk for that, I'm looking at your body fat, your visceral fat. I'm looking at even your rate of metabolism. What's going on with your metabolism? I go, what's your happy naked? Because it's not always about the number on the scale. It's about how you look and how you feel. Like Harry said, he talked about that, how we slouch over in the back. I've had 2 spinal fusions in 1 year. Let's get into alignment. Whew. So I may look a certain way, but if my back and things are off that way, you may be in more pain. So how I define physical health is right in line with, you partner with what that person is. Are you now healthy? But also, what is your happy naked? What is your happy naked?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for that. So now that we understand what it is from all 3 different perspectives, let's delve into how one would start a regimen that takes them to that normal, right? So from where they are, someone that wants to jumpstart into a wellness regimen, what would that look like? How's that assessment? What's that conversation start with, Dr. Rocks?
Typically, when clients come to me, I do what's called a clarity call. And getting clear, most people, the reason why a lot of their behaviors aren't sustainable is because they're taking on too much. We all go, I need to exercise more, I need to meditate more, I need to eat healthy. All of these things, they try to do them at once. And when you try to do them at once and you're not clear on what your approach is, you can become frustrated, overwhelmed. It may not be practical if you're hopping on the latest Pinterest challenge of no sugar, no this, no that, and it may not be appropriate actually for your bio individuality, which is how you're chemically made up, like what your diseases are, what your risk factors are. That keto may not be for you. So it first starts with an assessment of what's going on with their body, an assessment of their lifestyle, what their goals are and what's practical. So often I don't just look at labs related to, I mostly look at labs related to hormones. A lot of women that have hormonal imbalances will come to me because I don't necessarily believe in medication as the first route. So I try to help people find a natural approach, using food as their medicine and using the pill form medication as a last resort, but changing those behaviors. And oftentimes some people, we know what to do, but in health behavior change, there's this thing we call the intention behavior gap. We have this good intention. There's this gap, this pitfall in executing successfully without relapsing. We all can start. You can start a 5-week, 6-week program, but if it is not catered to your lifestyle or what's practical, and you don't change your identity to match those health habits, you will fail every time. And so my approach also comes from a behavioral health standpoint, where I help people build the habits that will be necessary to make the changes sustainable. So I approach it from the looking at some of the medical. I'll work with their doctors will send me labs, we'll go back and forth. I may request other labs, and then working from the behavioral health standpoint, and then also sending them to people like Harry for the fitness. And I love the approach to fitness, not just being, how do I become happy naked, but how do I make this functional for my lifestyle?
Dr. Stern, what you got for us? How does one start a physical health assessment from a medicinal point? Where do you start them at?
It starts with making the appointment. You know, if you have the insurance, use it. Get that physical going. Get an up to down look, once over look, so that we can see what we're dealing with. Vital signs, blood pressure, calculation of BMI, blood work, fasting labs, checking to make sure your sugar, your kidneys, your liver, all of those things are functioning appropriately. Your cholesterol for screening for cardiovascular disease. Checking on other reasons why you might not be motivated to exercise or may be more fatigued, like your thyroid, like your blood counts, to make sure you're not anemic or B12 deficient. All of these baseline pieces of information help me understand how to get you from here to here. And one of the things that we go over in a preventative healthcare visit, which is really important, like I think a lot of people just seek care acutely and they don't get a chance to sit down when they're actually feeling okay, to kind of go over how to continue to feel okay or to get from okay to better. But we go over what a person's goals are. And two things I like what Dr. Rox was saying about how you assess, like, not only what is your motivation for change, and so doing that between a 1 to 10 scale, how motivated are you to exercise, to lose weight? But outside of that, how confident are you in order to achieve that goal? That's a whole different answer for a lot of people, but that helps me understand how I can help work with them a little bit better.
And you ask how confident they are? How
confident you are.
So you want to know their belief in themselves to accomplish their goals, right?
Oh, absolutely. And then that helps. Well, okay, well, if you're not confident, why is it? What's in the way?
I love it. So you guys are just mirroring each other, the behavioral with the physical. Awesome. Harry, what you got for us? Where does one start when they want to get into a physical regimen?
I think something that hasn't been said, that this is kind of like an add-in, is accessibility. Because at a lot of gyms, people can't afford it, especially at a higher end gym, like a boutique gym where it's a smaller gym and there's always a personal trainer present in case you need any questions answered about your form, about your nutrition, anything like that. So that's the first thing. I know what we do at Kingdom Fit is we offer youth fitness for kids 6 to 12 for free every Tuesday night. We offer a mentorship program with fitness involved on Saturdays at 1 o'clock for an hour. And I had put in the chat that we just got approved for something called One Pass. And that's an insurance-based membership for people who receive Medicaid assistance. So we can make the gym more accessible. The second thing I want to say that was touched on from the other speakers tonight is a mindset. And one thing that I tell people in their first assessment is you can't hate your body and expect to get healthy at the same time. First, love yourself, you know, and what I tell people is the things that you're doing, putting nutritious foods in your body, exercising safely, that's you loving your body. And I said, stopping at Double D's, you know, getting some hot wings in a 40, you know, sitting on the couch, you know, watching Netflix, you know, being like super sedentary. You look at your Fitbit, you look at your Apple Watch, you only did 500 steps all day. That wasn't you really loving on your body. Mm-hmm. And what I always encourage people to do is love on yourself. And this is the act of loving on yourself. And a quick testimony, there was a couple that started training with me, I want to say about 9 months ago. And they came in and the husband was 360 pounds. I can't remember how, what the wife weighed. And like the doctor said, the weight isn't everything, you know, but it could be a symptom of, you know, diabetes that she was talking about. But what they said was, they said, we're eaters. They said, on the weekends, we go out to eat. Friday, Saturday, we're going out to eat. We're going out of town. We're going down Baltimore. We're going to Philly. We're going to New York. We like to eat out a lot. We may spend $500 to $7 a month eating out. And sometimes as we really look over our budget, we see that, you know, we're eating out a lot, you know, because it's more convenient. You know, we're stopping at a mini mart, getting a sandwich. You know, we're stopping at KFC. You know, we're doing these more convenient things. And he said, we don't have a bunch of money, but what we wanted to do was we wanted to take some of that money away from eating out a lot or eating unhealthy and redirect it in our health. And the husband, he lost 100 pounds. And the wife, she's down 40 pounds in that 9-month period. So I think that that's just a testimony that, you know, those that may not have Medicaid, that may also be on a lower income budget, they may see the gym as something that they can't afford. But I think if you, I think in the criminal justice world, they call it justice reinvestment, you know, where we're just kind of like not going to build these prisons. We want to invest in education or invest in mental health services or different things like that. So receiving justice for your body is kind of like doing that reinvestment, you know, where you kind of analyze the things that you're invested in that may contribute to being unhealthy and say, I'm going to take that and I'm going to reinvest it in something that brings more justice to my body. Justice
to my body. All right, awesome. So transparency moment. I went through a weight loss regimen and I'll share it because it really wasn't a regimen. But what I'm hearing from you guys, I went through that, 2018, I got a phone call, July of 2018, I got a phone call from my doctor's office that I had diabetes. There was no counseling. There was no follow-up information. I hung up the phone because my experience with diabetes was amputation, diabetic comas, all of the negative impacts of diabetes in my family. And so I was immediately fearful because one, I wasn't educated and I wasn't aware of treatment. And so I took a drastic route. And full disclosure, I went and I did weight loss surgery, lost about 90 pounds in 3 months. However, there was such a disconnect because again, there was no education behind it that I never treated the reason why I ate in the first place, right? And so now I'm in this space, and part of, you know, this journey is, you know, learning that, you know, gems like this, that there is a huge connection between behavior, mindset, and health and wellness. But I just went out and I got a quick fix because I was initiated by fear, not education, or else I would have made different choices. So what are some of the challenges that you're seeing in your practices with your clients as in terms of getting them on the right track? I know we're probably going to hit the, you know, mindset and things, but if you can give us specific situations of, you know, challenges and how you overcome them with your clients. Can you talk to us? Who wants to jump out there first? I don't think we started with you, Dr. Stern, first. Are you giving them tough love in the office? How does it work?
I give them tough love, but I'm with Dr. Rocks, who medicine is poison. We were taught that in medical school, that it's not the first thing you go to, and everything has side effects. So although it's there as adjunctive therapy, as yes, some people need it, and shouldn't be stigmatized, but it shouldn't be the first thing you run to. So the first barrier I think I deal with the most is the quick fix mindset. Just fix it now. Just give me a pill, right? Just give me a pill, or give me the surgery, and I'm gonna be on my way. And I'm like, okay, but then what? Because you'll be back.
You'll be back.
I think the second most common barrier is financial. Like Harry was speaking about, it's not even that you don't have the money, it's just that you haven't allocated the money at a place where you consider that something that you love. Like, your money goes to what your passions are. So if you're not passionate about your health and your fitness and your wellness, then that's not where your money's going to go. But usually the money is somewhere there, or can be kind of worked around. I went to Taco Bell recently, full disclosure. It's not cheap anymore. Like McDonald's has dollars, and people are saying, that's the reason why they eat like that. A lot of times is because of the not only the convenience, but the cost. Well, I live in Lancaster County. Like, there's Roots and there's other fresh markets, and you can get like a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables if you take the time to do that, that are healthier choices. So that's where I stand.
Yeah, I have a rule that if fast food costs me more than $20, I need to be at the grocery store. So I won't do it. What you got for us, Dr. Rocks? What are the challenges you're seeing in your—
Absolutely agree, Dr. Stern. Everyone wants the quick fix. Some of the more common beliefs, common issues, there are a lot of antiquated beliefs. And then also the way diet culture has tainted people's beliefs on what they need to do with the quick fixes. But to be quite honest and to be real, many of the people I encounter, when I get my clients are the fed up, frustrated, tired of the hamster wheel of weight loss. Many people are not willing to step out of their comfort zone. They'll say, oh, I don't have time to meal prep. Yes, you do, because you watch me on social media. I see you scrolling. You have time to meal prep. Or if they say they don't have the money, I go, okay, do you get coffee every morning from Starbucks? Let's take that $10 a day times this. So many of my programs, I'll break down my programs as to what it costs them per day. Because I go, when you're in my program, when we're in a healing phase, we're not drinking coffee. We are not taxing your adrenal glands, and we're healing your hormones. Also, some people just don't know where to start. They're overwhelmed, and they see, especially with social media, TikTok, they'll be like, oh, this was on TikTok. One of the girls was like, Dr. Rocks, I'll wear my castor oil pack now because I seen it on TikTok. And I'm like, I told you that a year ago. But because TikTok said it, it's like everybody, but like, oh. So social media, there's so many different, and one of my clients said this to me the other day, and she said, there's so many people that are on social media that they're just sharing what worked for them, but they don't have the knowledge and the expertise. And people don't look at that. So we have all these different health and wellness professionals, quote unquote professionals, on social media, bombarding people with information. They're saving the information and they go, okay, I shouldn't eat this. Don't use plastic, increase my water, get rid of this. They don't know what to do. And when you're overwhelmed like this, you will easily shut down. So that's one of the biggest things I run into. And also then people will run into other additional issues with the weight, lack of fatigue, lack of energy, joint pain. They have digestive issues that they don't even realize are issues. They think gas is normal. That's not normal. They think not going to the bathroom at least once a day is normal. That's not normal. So all of these different issues compound. They have then some of the health issues, many times with the clients I encounter, have come about from diets or surgeries they've had that they tried to get for quick fixes. So thank you for sharing that, Tami, with the root cause, because so many people will go that route, and even out of fear, like, I need to fix this. What's the fastest way? And so that's the—
Yeah. And it's backfired because I've put on some of the weight back, but it's allowing me, and I'm giving myself grace because I know why I did it. Again, it was fear motivated, but now I want to, just like you said, do you have the confidence to do it? Dr. Stern said, do you have the confidence to get this done? And I'm at the age and stage where I do, and it's getting done. So I'm ready. So I'll be calling all of y'all. But where are we at on time? Okay, we got a little bit of time left. So I'm going to throw it over to Harry. Harry, what is something that you would give? What are your top three, I guess, pieces of advice for someone looking to live in their purpose in the most healthiest and fit way? What are top three pieces of advice?
I would say break away from traditions that are unhealthy, even if they're coming from healthier people that are healthy in maybe a different respect, maybe like financially healthy or maybe spiritually healthy. And the reason why I bring that up, I remember having a conversation with my pastor's wife a few weeks ago. And I told her I can remember going in the basement of the church and us praying over food that we know is going to kill us. You know,
whoa, hold on. You can't just don't just speed by that.
Yeah, he gonna have to stop right there. We're gonna have to take a 2-minute
for the people
let
in the
that
back.
marinate moment.
Yeah.
We need a 2-minute.
I just
let
got
that
chills.
marinate moment.
Yeah, well,
Say that one more
that's
time.
what we're doing. You know, how can we bless something that we know is going to kill us? You know, and then we're asking for prayer to such and such, who just had a heart attack, who is on these cholesterol medication, who has diabetes, and we contributed to that. But sometimes because we are healthy spiritually or we are healthy financially, we said that we can, we don't have to be healthy physically. We kind of like check, and that's why I think we live in a world where, competitively, we say to ourselves, at least I'm healthier than other people. At least I'm not at the bar every night, or at least, I'm not, asking, if I could borrow money and different things like that. So I think that, breaking away from those unhealthy traditions, of, having like a lot of the cakes, a lot of the, high saturated foods, a lot of the fried foods is important. I think another thing that I would say, when it comes to the nutrition, because nutrition a lot of times could be our biggest battle, is that compulsive eating. Because, we do a lot of things with food. We mourn with food. We having a bad day, we want a sandwich. You know what I mean? If we want to celebrate, we want to have some cake. So if we want to be comforted, we may have some ice cream. So we have this compulsion to utilize food to satisfy our emotions. So I think that we have to, like someone talked about behaviors, we have to really analyze our behaviors. And the third thing I would say, speaking to nutrition, and I know there's, we all spoke about it, there's a lot of different things out there like intermittent fasting, where they say, wait until 12 o'clock, eating the 8-hour window till 8 p.m. And I know there may be some science behind that. I follow a more traditional format, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with maybe a snack in between. And what I see some people fall into is they may not eat enough for breakfast and lunch and end up eating too much for dinner and your late night snack right before you go to bed. And someone gave me some good advice one time when it comes to that. It said, eat like a king or queen for breakfast, eat like a prince or a princess for lunch, and eat like a pauper for dinner. That way, I utilize MyFitnessPal for a lot of people that I work with, for them to have a way. I don't say do it every day. I say if you just do it one day, if you just put in what you eat for one day, so you can get a clear picture of how many calories you're eating, how much protein you have in your diet. I say try to get the most of your food in before 3 o'clock. If it says for you to eat 1,500 calories, by 5 o'clock, you should have about 1,100 calories in to be eaten. So you're not trying to get 1,000-calorie dinner. And I think what happens sometimes is that we're doing these 1,000-calorie dinners, and then we're going to sleep, or we may be still hungry because we haven't eaten all day, and we're doing another 400 calories in ice cream. So I think that that's something that I've seen in my field that kind of like gets people in trouble.
Oh no, we ain't trying to be in trouble. We ain't trying to be in trouble. We're going to keep it going with the 3 practical tips that we can give our audience so that they can implement immediately. Harry gave us some gems. What you got? I know you got some fire for us, Dr. Stern. 3 practical tips.
Okay, so my first practical tip is to figure out your why. It has to be personal. It can't be for the snatch waist and this, that, and the third. It has to be, so, do you want to do it so you can have more time with your family, so you can spend more time outdoors, whatever it is that's important to you, is it for your mental health, in order to get physically active. That why is going to be important at helping remind them or patients of why to do it again the next day. My second piece would be get accountable. A lot of people want to be self-made, but it's very important to have somebody watching you, and whether that's to post when you exercise on social media, or to have someone that you do challenges with on your watch, or someone that you talk to on a weekly basis or a daily basis about what did you eat for dinner? What are your plans for this, that, and the third? Having that accountability partner is helpful too, to help make sure that you're staying consistent. The last thing that I have to tell myself every day is every day begin again. Some days are going to be bad days. You're going to mess up. You can have the best of intentions at 6 a.m. and by noon they're shot to hell. And the next day when it comes, you can start over. It doesn't have to be a weekend bender. It doesn't have to be a 6-week string of time where you've lost, all of your skills, all of the things that you've learned or tried to do. It can just be the next day that you start over.
Should we roll right in, Dr. Rocks, with your 3 practical tips for our audience?
3 practical tips. I'll take away the accountability because Dr. Stern covered that. 1, moderation, not deprivation. Anytime clients deprive, that's not sustainable for your lifestyle. Unless you're on some type of healing diet, as we call them in functional nutrition, you don't want to deprive. Anyone that deprives and then gains the weight back, that's why, because it's not sustainable for their lifestyle. So you want to eat in moderation, the things that you enjoy. I use an 80-20 rule. So if there's certain foods you enjoy that are poison for the body and not medicine for the body, 20% of the time, and use tools to then support your body in digesting them, and well, not digesting them, but getting them, flushing them from the body. Number 2, stack your habits. And this is a way to create sustainability, a way to stack your habits, much like many of us. Some of us will brush our teeth before we get in the shower. Some when you get out the shower. Some have coffee while they read the paper. Those are stacking habits that you haven't realized. So what you do when you want to create a new behavior, it's something called habit stacking. So look at a current habit that you have in place and the health behavior that you want to now introduce, and stack that habit. I'll give you an example. I had stopped doing my meditation and gratitude sessions. So what I began to do is, okay, I'm going to stack this along with folding laundry instead of watching TV. So when I'm thinking about things I'm grateful for, even like checking your email while you're on the toilet in the morning, like stack your habits. There's things where you can stack things, because when you stack the habits, it's easier for them to then become part of your regimen, and then becomes more consistent. You become more disciplined. And then when it's a lifestyle change, it's easier to be sustainable because it's a part of your identity. And last, as related to the toilet, check your poop. Not enough people check their poop. They're looking good on the outside and rotten on the inside. All of my clients know one of the first things I do is have them, whether they're doing a food, mood, and poop journal, or they look in the toilet to check their poop. I usually can tell you what's going on with their poop based on what symptoms they give me. And so I have a portal, a health portal, where my clients can track, like with MyFitnessPal, they can not only track their food, but they can track their mood around the food, what the pre-hunger was, the post-hunger was, what their emotions are around that food. They're able to sync their fitness, their wearable fitness devices within the portal. They're able to post their progress pictures. They're able to also list their symptoms and track their poop, not by posting pictures of their poop, but what they do is there's pictures like the Bristol stool chart, and they tap what their poop is. So when I go in to look at my clients' journals on a daily basis, right away for real-time accountability, anything I've updated to their care plan, I can see, wait a minute, your stools have been loose. What's going on? Were you cheating, or is there something else? Ooh, okay, those fats are too high, or maybe you need a digestive enzyme to support that. So checking your poops, you should have 3 solid snakes a day. If you're like, what? Because I don't have a Bristol stool chart to show you. I see Dr. Stern smiling. I never thought in all of my years that I would love tracking poop. My clients know I love tracking poop, because right away I'll go, that's what's going on. It'll tell you what's going on, because your bowel transit time is extremely important. Remember, your poop is what your body has decided is toxic and needs to leave. If you're not going, those toxins are sitting and fermenting in your body. You think your poop stay down here. Things ferment throughout your body and can cross the blood-brain barrier. So you want to be very mindful of how often you go, And if you're not going, there's a problem. If you're going and it's too loose, there's a problem. Some people think, oh, it's getting out quick. But if your bowel transit time is too fast, your body is not having enough time to extract the nutrients necessary. So whatever you're saying, as I say to them, I'll close it this way. You are not what you eat. You are what your body is able to do with the food that you eat. And so you may think that you're eating a high protein meal, but if your body can't break down the fat, the protein, and metabolize it, it's never getting it. So turn around, look in the toilet before you wipe, check your poop. You want solid snakes, not too loose and not a bunch of hard balls. Hard balls, constipation. Too loose in water is closer to diarrhea. You want it solid and smooth.
3 snakes a day keeps
3
the doctor.
snakes a day.
Talk your ish, doctor. Literally, okay? Talk your ish. You want 3 snakes a day. Go ahead and stacking habits. I haven't heard that. I don't know if that blessed y'all, but that blessed me. Because now I'm thinking, okay. All right, I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna implement that. I'm gonna take something from each and every one that you shared. So are there any questions? Do we have any questions? That was really good. Do we have any questions in our audience? If not, quickly tell us where we can reach you. What's the best way to reach you? I know we have your websites and everything posted on our page, but what's the best way? Phone, email, text? Harry, how can our folks get in touch with you? First time.
Sorry. So again, like you said, I'm at Kingdom Fit Harrisburg. I'm on Google. You could look me up in any of your search engines. I also have a mentorship program, Kingdom Empowerment Inc. for young men and women ages 12 to 21. You can Google that. I'm on Google. And you can subscribe. I do a lot of blogging, about different things that we talked about tonight. You have access to that, or you could just stop by the gym. I'm usually there because it's a new business, only been open a year. I'm kind of like on that grind. So I'm there like 5 a.m. I'm leaving at like 7:30 most nights. I left a little bit early for this tonight, but I'm usually there all day. So if people want to just stop in, see the space, talk about different things that we talked about tonight, I kind of live there.
Kind of live there. All right, Dr. Stern, how can our folks get in touch with you if they have any questions? I know they can't just ring the doctor's line.
Yeah, don't just pull up. A little bit of a tight policy on that. I'm at Penn Medicine, Lancaster General Health, Family Medicine, Mount Joy. But honestly, if you need a doctor, I am taking in a couple of new patients, and my colleagues are as well. The best way to contact me is with email, Andrea Stern 2011 @gmail.com. Happy to point you in the right direction if I can.
All right, Dr. Rox, it's on you. And then we do have a question. I'll pose the question from the audience. Okay. Best way to contact you.
Best way to contact me directly is email Roxanne, 1N, ROXANE @drroxhealth.com, but also Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn, You also can DM me directly. I'm pretty active on those platforms. So reach out, let's chat, let's get to the root of what's getting in your way of aligning your body for wellness. So
Perfect transition to our ending. So what we're going to do, actually, we're going to wrap up. I'm going to hand this over to Rochelle. She's going to wrap us up. Marcia, if you did not hear, we have what's called an after party where we're going to be able to speak one-on-one specifically to our panelists, and we can answer your question in that session if you have time to hold on. Is that good? Just give me a yes, maybe so. All right, perfect. So I'm going to hand this over to Rochelle. Dropping the virtual mic. Ma'am, you got it.
I'm gonna get my life together over here. All right. So first and foremost, this was awesome. I loved how it was from so many different perspectives. You all, the panelists, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. I really hope everyone that joined in on Facebook, on the live stream, and also those that are here in the Zoom, I hope there was something you took from today, because I ain't gonna lie, some of it made me uncomfortable because it's like putting that mirror up in front of your face, like, you know, you got some work to do. Okay. So first and foremost, we just want to thank you all for tuning in. Okay. You know, as we mentioned before, this is the Alignment is the Assignment live stream series. This is this two of four. Last week, we was talking about the mindset. Today, as you've seen, we talk about body. I'm so grateful that our panelists connected the two, because we understand, and if you tuned in, you see that your mindset, the way we think, also impacts our body. Make sure you join in next week, same time, same place. We're going to be talking about alignment of your heart and soul, because this is what we know, it all connects. It's all aligned, okay? And in order for us to really move on purpose, live on purpose, we have to make sure all of these things are working together so we can live and be healthy and live holistically, all right? So thank you so much for joining us. We encourage you to head on over to thealignment.life to go ahead and register. Why register when I can watch it on live? Because you get the opportunity to come on into the after party and get some, you know, some loving, some, you know, we're going to answer some questions that are personal. It's a good vibe, I promise you. And then you don't want to miss it because life gets busy. People is like, oh my gosh, I can't make it tonight because I forgot. Listen, register so we can remind you so you can join us. All right. Also, last week before we go, you see on the screen, we have some shirts. We call them the alignment shirts. All right. When you grab your shirt, they start at $27. When you grab your shirt, they are going to be benefiting a local nonprofit that's located in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's called Beehive Affordable Housing Outreach, okay? This is really, really important to make sure, this is a personal play here, to make sure that when we do things, they're for the betterment of our community. So this is part of the reason why we decided to add in shirts, right? Because nonprofits, you know, really sometimes need our support, period. That's what it boils down to. They need our support. So we're doing our part by making sure that we are, you know, offering something else that one to remind you that alignment is the assignment, but it's also going to benefit Beehive Affordable Housing Outreach. And also a portion of the proceeds are going to go to the Campaign for a Cause nonprofit scholarship, where my company helps nonprofits, you know, with their online marketing when they don't have the funds, right? That's another topic for another day. But grab your shirts when you join us next week. Make sure you pop in with your shirts. And we once again thank you so much. And if you didn't remember anything today, just always remember, alignment is the assignment. Zoom folks, don't drop off. Live stream folks, much love to you. All right, we're out. We'll see you next week.